Welcome back to Markets Today. We're taking a look at what happened on the NSE yesterday with regards to turnover, the top gainers and the top movers. This will be on your screen. For your information, the market was actually down 16% in terms of turnover. Those are the highlights that are going on right there. But let's go back to the conversation, Barry. We just, before we took a break, we had got into the part that you're saying liquidity has increased in the market in terms of FI turnover compared to last year. And we're trying to get a sense. We're not seeing any of that liquidity in the market space in terms of the economy. Where's this liquidity coming from? Is it fund managers? Are they reallocating to fixed income now? Is it banks are trading more? What's happening there?
I actually believe it's reallocation.
Okay.
Most of the fund managers are reallocating the investment into fixed income.
From where?
From the equity side.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And even banks as well are coming more, are increasing their limits into the fixed income side. Yeah.
That's very interesting because earlier you'd actually said that the interest from the pension funds is for the 15 to the 20 year, and you said the 20 year is now at 12.7%. Right. So it seems that it's better to get to a space where you have 12.7% per year as opposed to dealing with the volatility on the NSE.
Exactly.
Because actually the best performer is Safaricom, which is 22%, but then the rest are slowly closer to the 0% mark.
The stock price, the stock market generally has not been very
It's not been doing well.
Yeah. Pension funds, I think. And even if you look at last year, there was a huge reallocation in the fixed income market.
Fixed income.
Especially government securities.
All right. Yeah. Very interesting.
Barry, tell us about Makeba.
Makeba, yes. This was an initiative by the NSE to try and bring the local, let's say the common mwananchi.
Retail investors.
Exactly.
Yes.
You and me to invest in the bond market.
Yeah.
So they had a...
I haven't bought it by the way.
It is last 3,000, so
I've bought it. I just never know when to know whether I've gotten my bond or who to communicate with.
Right.
Maybe you can let us know how we do that.
The first thing is, I think, investor education is important.
Yeah.
Is that happening on Makeba?
They've really tried to bring in local celebrities, try and sensitize it and try and sell it out, but I don't think that's the right way to go about it.
Yeah.
You should tell them to get George and I to explain what's happening. Plus yourself.
Do celebrities know about fixed income?
No, we need Barry to be speaking about it.
They actually try and train them on it as well.
Okay.
So they're trying to reach the masses, but now they need to go into the GGs themselves because they have a low subscription. This is the second tranche they've released.
It was a poor performance.
Yes, again another poor performance.
All right.
Yes.
So some of the things I need to do is, you think it's investor education?
Yes.
It's still very
low. It's still quite low unless you're very with the market.
Yeah.
That's when you know about Makeba. But you go to your local mama mbogas and even actually let's all go to your mama mbogas. Go to your offices. Ask a proper accountant about Makeba.
Yeah,
that's true.
They'll just mumble about it.
Have you invested in the Makeba?
No.
Okay.
You can actually invest in the bond market.
In the bond market,
if you can get better returns from the bond market.
That's true.
Yes.
But it's interesting when you speak about the Makeba, not only on investor education. I've actually done it from when they introduced it. Then this year I also did it again. Yeah. And once you do it, you get a confirmation on your phone. You have invested 3,000 to the government of Kenya. Thank you. This they give you the dates of when to expect your return. Yes. What's not clear is who do you communicate to find out when is the money coming, or in terms of a space where you can actually call to find information. Because it's easier for me to give you my bond portfolio and say buy for me this, and then I'll get a confirmation, and there's constant communication in terms of what's happening. Yeah. But this one, not only is there not sufficient investor education, that communication of what's going on, has my investment been received?
Yes.
It's not very, where's the money sitting?
If I want to sell it, where can I sell it?
Where can I sell it?
So I think there's a market making behind it. I think it's CBA.
Yes, CBA actually currently behind it.
And the sales.
Yes, but then you can go to your local investment banks and they can actually...
SIB.
Yes, SIB can actually handle your Makeba portfolio for you as well.
Okay. Yes. But it's still talking on Makeba. This is the first time that the registry of government debt has been moved out of central bank with Makeba.
Right.
So it's CDSE.
Yes.
CDSE is doing the clearance.
Yes.
But the other bonds, central bank still does the clearance and maintains the register.
Right.
There's been a long conversation, you know that. All the government debt registry needs to move to CDSE.
Right.
Have you had anything of late one? Do you think this will streamline the market efficiency if it's moved out of central bank?
It might and it might not.
Yeah.
Because because I work with the CBK every day, it's still quite efficient.
Yeah.
When you want a bond, when you want to sell and trade
the
market, it's quite efficient.
Okay.
You can do the same day trading.
Oh wow.
So you can buy a bond today, buy it, sell it, buy it. So that's efficient. You can do that with your equity shares.
That's true. You have
CDSE doesn't offer you that.
Not yet.
They don't offer intraday clearance.
They do not. But they are bringing in the derivatives market, which should be able to to do this for you.
Do you see any derivative product around fixed income?
Oof,
No, they're talking about single stock
Single equity.
index futures. Do you think?
No. For fixed income, it might be a bit different.
Yeah, why?
Unless you're pegging your what's it called? Your gamble on the yields going lower, but that's what everyone is pegging.
That's shorting the yields.
Yes, so you're shorting the yields. But what are you basing it on?
Yeah.
So it might work for you, but it may work against you.
Okay.
Yeah?
But you've been trading for some time.
Right.
What are some of the reforms you think the secondary market needs? I find the secondary market still not very efficient to the extent that the bidding and offering still happens outside the ATS.
Yes, it's very opaque. But currently the NSE is working on a hybrid system to get an over-the-counter market.
An OTC market.
An OTC market. So where price discovery will be open to everyone.
Okay.
So once this is there, I think it should be made available before the end of the year, by August. So once this is there, it's going to open up the market. The volumes are going to increase. You'll see more investors coming in because now the opaqueness of the market will not be there anymore. If you can trust the market, that means you can put your money there.
That's very true.
That's very true.
That's a good
and
move.
I think I've also done a lot of work on the FX in MK. One of the things that I've constantly written about is the fact that trading of T-bills needs to come.
There is trading of T-bills.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of discounting of T-bills at the Central Bank of Kenya. And well, there's trading of T-bills, but I think it's at the institute. I think they don't do odd lots. So the trading of T-bills happens like what? Minimum 50 million shillings?
No, you have to match it.
Yes.
That's the disadvantage is you have to actually match a trade for anything to cross. So I can't come with my random 10 million if there's no person who wants to take the 10 million.
Yeah, that makes the market inefficient.
It doesn't.
Because I see that the rediscounting figures at the central bank, you see people rediscounting things as low as 100,000 shillings.
Yes.
A million shillings. And the market says we can't rediscount. That matching that she's talking about has actually literally locked a huge portion of the market out.
That is true.
That's true.
Do you think that T-bill can actually be a retail product tradable at the NSE?
The problem with T-bills, I'd say, is the interest on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not attractive enough to your investors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where will they come in, invest 1 million shillings and get 7% return? That's the same as your fixed deposit.
And that's excluding the transactional cost.
And
So
there's a
tax.
tax. And
then
the
there's
tax
the
too.
tax.
15% withholding tax.
50% withholding, then there's a transactional cost of what? 0.5, not
0.0024, yeah.
Okay.
So
No, but that's the one that
yeah.
goes to the trader. But then from the trader to the client, would it be higher if I'm not an institutional client?
no.
Yeah?
It wouldn't be. We just charge
You
the
just
same.
charge the
Yeah,
same rate.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. But now you see the problem. All these costs bring your profits low.
Yeah,
And
it makes it
you
very
have
unattractive.
It makes it very unattractive. So it's not about even matching it. It's about you. Will you go in for a treasury bill yourself?
Yeah, and then I pay some.
You just hold it for till maturity.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. Just
It
get
makes
your
sense.
discounted return. Like get your return and just wait for the money.
Well, the whole point of liquidity is that sometimes you can have an emergency.
That's why money market
Yeah,
fund.
but tax
Do it money
tax
market
liability
fund.
falling
So,
down, you want to do liquidity.
as an investor, you have all these different
That's-
options for you to invest
Yeah.
in. Now, if you're looking for a high liquid asset, there are the options there. But for the fixed income market,
That might not be the
unfortunately,
best.
it's not as liquid. For our retail clients, especially, you buy a bond for 500,000. Now, matching the 500,000 to a different retailer who's ready with the 500,000 might be a bit.
Even on the odd lot board.
Yes,
Yeah,
It's
becomes
difficult.
very
it
difficult.
becomes very difficult.
But the repo market is dead. How do you
Yes.
get it up?
The what now?
The repo market.
Oh, CBK.
Okay.
Is it an important market for you in FI?
In FI, it is.
It's very
actually.
important.
It is. So it presents when there's low liquidity.
Yes.
The repo and the repo market should come into play. If there's too much liquidity, the government should buy to reduce liquidity.
CBK looks like they've become a proper trading house.
Yeah, they have all the options
proper,
open to
proper
them.
trading
Yeah.
house.
So-
Before in the previous regime,
Yeah.
we were very let the market operate, but now it feels like they're very proactive. So
Yes.
in a way,
They are very.
But you
proactive.
still see buy-sell backs? Or they've gone down?
They've actually reduced quite a bit in the market, substantially in the market, because reason being everyone is liquid right now. Why would they need a buy sell back?
Okay.
You only take up a buy sell back where you don't have money. So I have a bond, but I still want to hold on to my bond.
Okay.
So I'll give you the bond
Temporarily.
Then I'll give you a small markup, not the market price. So maybe
So it's
2
usually
bips.
off the market.
It's totally off the
Way
market.
off the market.
Way
Yeah,
off the market.
because you don't want to buy it at the market. You are holding a bond at 13%. Market's at 12.7. You don't want to sell it. So you'll give it, say, to you at 13%.
Yeah.
And then get
Hold
it
it for
back.
2 weeks, 3 weeks. Give it back to me at 12.98.
Yeah.
But Barry, We're about to end this show, but we
Yes.
cannot end this show without looking at your market and the potential impact of interest rate cuts.
Right.
If they're repealed or there's an adjustment, what does that mean for your FI market, maybe for the next 6 months? Do you still see the reallocation to FI markets, or do you begin to see a bit of turnover getting out of there, or a bit of assets getting out of there into the equity markets?
With the repeal, we'd expect the same to stand.
Okay,
Because where are you going to take your money still?
that's true.
But then the yields are going to go higher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, there'll be a proper period of turmoil.
Yeah.
Because everyone has a trading book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where are you going to price your bonds?
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you going to sell everything at the same time
Wow.
just to mitigate?
Yeah.
Or are you going to wait for the prices to go?
Yeah.
There's an arbitrage opportunity just waiting for you with your name written all over it. If the rate
Don't
cap
worry.
will happen.
But don't worry, the rate
Yes.
cap's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I agree with
It's
you.
not
The
going
market-
anywhere, so the market
Yeah,
remains as
yeah.
is. Okay.
Government has zero reason to remove
Zero
the rate
reason
cap.
to. That's very interesting. The very different perspective. It sounds like it's
They keep saying that given the proposal, but is Parliament willing to repeal it? Because it has to go back to parliamentarians, the legislators.
I think also
Alright.
they have to give due consideration the fact that if they remove the cap, then the government's domestic borrowing cost will actually shoot up.
It does.
Can they afford
It
it?
does. It looks like it's another red herring. You know, we wanted the rate cap to come out, but it's out of our hands.
It's not going to come
But
out.
that's a conversation for another day. Gentlemen, we must come to the end of our show. But before we do so, I'd like us maybe to just have concluding remarks, starting with you, George, please.
The red caps are not going anywhere, Barry. Consider it.
Consider it done. Barry.
Invest in the FI market. It's beautiful.
All right.
Okay.
And people can reach out to you. You have a Twitter handle?
Yes.
Okay.
Twitter handle.
Yes. Or through SIB.
Omoto JR.
SIB Twitter handle.
Anyway, don't worry about that. So invest in the FI market. So I think there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're seeing a lot of liquidity getting into the FI market, a reallocation of assets from equities into the debt market. There could be a potential opportunity for you to trade in that space if anything happens on the rate cap repeal. Today we had Barry Omoto speaking with us about the FI market. He's from SIB. Thank you once again and enjoy your Friday as well as the weekend.